Good afternoon. Today on Business Success in Six with Stacie, I have Patty Ford here from Paloma's Tacos and Tequila in Milwaukee, Wisconsin. Thanks for jumping on with me, Patty.
Of course. Thanks for having me.
It's my pleasure. I'm really excited to ask you 6 questions about your business so you can share it with our clients and community. So if it's okay, we'll get started.
Of course.
All right, here we go. When people ask you what Paloma Tacos and Tequila does, how do you describe your business?
Well, I mean, obviously we are a restaurant with a bar. So, we just try to put our best foot forward. We give the customer delicious tacos and delicious craft cocktails, supplying them with a lot of tequila.
Tell me a little bit more about the tequila. Is it that rail tequila or what kind of tequila do you offer?
We actually do not do rail tequila. I kind of am a picky person. I don't like to give the customer something that I wouldn't drink myself, or eat myself for that matter. So I don't offer rail tequila. Everybody has kind of their moment in time where they kind of, overdid it on some alcohol when they were younger, and tequila was mine in Mexico, actually. So I refuse to bring in rail tequila. It's just harsh, and I mean nobody really enjoys that. So I try to, there's a lot of really good tequilas, obviously higher end, which I do offer a good list of, but then also kind of middle of the road, so that people feel comfortable, trying something new, unique that they might not have ever seen before. The lower marketed brands. And just giving them something that they don't see everywhere.
Well, thank you for practicing social responsibility and giving us good quality tequila. So what were your plans when you started your business? I know you said you opened July 2nd, 2020. What were your plans when you started it, and how has it already changed?
I mean, my plans, just to give this community that I've worked and lived in for many years, something that a comfortable place that people can come and join their family, their friends, and just eat delicious, good food with great flavor, local ingredients, as well as great cocktails. I opened at a very challenging time, so just kind of try to put my best foot forward, and that's kind of when I adapted the one day at a time mentality, which really got me through opening during probably the most challenging time of our lives. Just one day at a time. I kind of just looked at it like that, and it really worked for me, to not get too scared and oh god, risking everything to make my dreams come true. And it really helped get me through it, because it was busy, even though it was a pandemic. It was a lot. So yeah.
Absolutely. And you have outdoor seating as well, right? You had mentioned. So
We do. We have quite a few. We have a lot of tables outside. Fortunately, we can go all the way up the block. So we have, 10, 12 tables, depending. I am doing some kind of a changing of the patio this summer, adding a bunch of nice planter boxes, making it a little bit cozier. And then also working with my contracting and design team, doing like a Four Seasons room off the front of the building to just give some more all year round seating, because it's challenging, going from 3 times the capacity down to a small little restaurant, and maintaining my staff. They do a good job all summer, and then it's like, oh, we go down to a small restaurant, so it's tough to keep everybody happy. So I'm looking forward to adding on, and both for the customer and for my staff.
Absolutely. That's great. My next question for you is, what is the biggest way you impact the community? Obviously, you're talking about extending tables out and just beautifying the area that you are in. What other ways do you impact the community?
I think, I've been in this area working, most of my adult life, and this area is wonderful. They support local businesses. They're all about local businesses. So what I try to do is just, put my best foot forward, creating a beautiful space. I'm a plant and flower person. So just making sure that, I'm keeping my little area of the city, clean and beautiful. You know, and just kind of designing the space. You know, it's a chill kind of concept. Taco, you know, taco and tequila kind of taco shack you'd see off the side of the road. But doing it well, and, you know, making sure that the surroundings are comfortable, you know, from anywhere from, you know, the basic lighting and music to, you know, just making sure that everybody feels comfortable walking in the building. You know, just, I hold that at the utmost importance.
Absolutely. Well, thank you for doing that. My next question, you already mentioned this a little bit, is what is one challenge that you have faced that other business owners could learn from? I know you said that you have this like huge amount of people in the summer and then your staff kind of get smaller. Could you talk a little bit more about that and how that challenge, and then share any other challenges you'd like as well?
I mean, I think opening in the start of the pandemic was a huge challenge that I didn't foresee, obviously, which made me kind of have to, you know, focus on some things that I never thought I would have to. You know, the amount of people being in the building, from working with my design build team 360, you know, with like the barriers and working with the health department and making sure we're making them happy. I mean, it was all kind of things that were thrown my way, and, you know, you're already starting to, or you're trying to learn how to run the business part, and there's a lot of surprises that, you know, I've been in the business all my adult life managing other people's, and you don't foresee a lot of things, and you're kind of living and learning. So throwing all of that, the COVID aspects into the picture was extremely challenging. You know, and then just the size of my building. Love my building, but you know, it's small, and this area shows up for, you know, small businesses. So the challenge of executing in a timely fashion as well as we can, you know, turning off the online ordering, taking the phone off the hook, but then ultimately people just come in. So just really kind of trying to navigate through making, you know, trying to make sure everybody's happy, fed, you know, it's definitely challenging in this small of a space.
Absolutely. And they usually are happy and want to stay when they've got tequila and tacos to keep them there, right?
I mean, and then that provides a whole nother challenge because, you know, we're on this huge waiting list, and, you know, people want to stay and they're enjoying their cocktails, and which is what I always want them to do. But then it's like, you know, you have a bunch of other people waiting. So it's a challenge because I've always worked in restaurants that are a little bit bigger. So you did have time and space to kind of chill and interact with your guests and have a good time. Whereas this is kind of a more of a fast-paced restaurant, trying to, you know, please everybody. And sometimes it works to our advantage. Sometimes, you know, people might get a little upset about the wait time. You know, there's just really not too much that we can do. Try to do our best with that. But we do make everything fresh. So we try to, you know, kill them with our flavors, and once they get the food in front of them, you know, make sure they're happy. Yeah.
Sounds great. So what does the future look like to you? And do you have an exit plan?
I mean, I'm not really thinking of an exit plan at this point. You know, I'm going on almost 3 years here. I'm looking more or less to grow the business. I look at my employees and I watch what they do day in and day out for me. And I mean, from when I started to now is, you know, night and day.
Wow.
So my plan going forward is to expand a little bit so that we can do a little bit more catering. You know, we have a couple weddings that we're working this summer. And then, you know, I'm never going to be a large catering company, but to really kind of give some unique, you know, events are the flavor of our food and beverage and our customer service. And just looking to kind of give some of my key players a little bit of the profit sharing. So we're looking at another location.
Congratulations. That's so exciting. And I love that you were talking about profit sharing and, you know, helping your employees grow, not just the business grow. That's beautiful. So,
I mean, I've been in this business, you know, like I said, woo, all my life. So I'm trying to, you know, I worked hard for other people, and, you know, it got to me where I am today. But, you know, I'm looking to build a team that wants to grow and, you know, build on what we're doing. So that's kind of where my head's at there, and just
so
giving them a
cool.
little bit of a better life. I mean, I'm just introducing a retirement plan,
Oh,
paid vacation,
congratulations.
that kind of stuff.
Wow.
So, stuff that I've never had from owners. I mean, actually the owners, but the owners of the restaurants that I've worked at most recently haven't even been in here. So it's like, it's kind of showed me, what not to do, kind of thing.
What kind of leader you want to be, right?
Yeah, and a little goes a long way. It's all perception, right? I mean, it's being there for your staff, supporting them. I mean, they're here day in and day out, doing it. And so really making sure that they are aware how much I appreciate them. Really, that's what it all comes down to. If I'm successful,
Awesome.
they're successful.
Totally. That is awesome. That is inspiring to me. But my last question to you is all subjects open. What inspires you most?
I mean, it inspires me. I mean, when I see like my chef, my sous chef, or any of my employees for that matter, kind of just working together and growing. I mean, some of my key players, like just seeing them, how much they've grown in a short period of time, even like 2 years, has been, it warms my heart. And just, and obviously watching the customers come in, and we have an excellent client base. I mean, we're welcoming to all. All we want you to do is come in, sit down, have some good food, good beverage, interact. And I always thoroughly enjoy watching people's first bites. They don't even know I'm watching, but they take their first bite and it's always that like, oh, surprising head nod, like, oh my God. And that, I mean, that's what inspires us all, really.
Well, that is great. Well, thank you so much for your time today, Patty. If someone wants to visit your location, how do they get in touch with you or the location? Do you do reservations or is it first come, first serve with that waiting list?
We do not, because due to our size, we do not do reservations.
Okay.
However, we can accommodate some call aheads. If it works pretty well for us, but it really is first come, first serve. And we do kind of promote going, we'll take your name down and we'll promote, go down the street, go to Whiskey Hayes, go to Venture, that way you're supporting another local business, and then we'll call or text you when your table's ready.
That is so
I do a
cool.
lot of advertisement through social media. That's how we get, we do weekly specials right now during kind of the off season.
Okay.
So that's how we get the word out there. And that's kind of how I've marketed since day one, and it works for me. So, kind of hitting us up on social media is probably the best way to go about it, I guess.
Absolutely. Awesome. Patty, thank you so much for sharing Paloma tacos and tequila with us. And I can't wait to get down there and try it myself.
Of course. Thank you.
Thank you.